welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the WardiTV Monday. WardiTV Monday number 81, your weekly dose of WardiTV action. I'm of course just VIP with you and joined by these amazing players and brother in the chat as well. Welcome, one and all. Bienvenidos, we have returned. It has been a while since we've covered a WardiTV Monday. We do have a bit of a backlog. Again, there's just been so much going on with the GSL qualifiers, with GSL proper with RSL as well, because of all the major events that have been ongoing. Then events like WardiTV Monday have been falling by the wayside. Now we're here to catch up, especially with the PTR now coming out and with the new patch on the horizon. Did want to work through our backlog of tournaments as quickly as possible leading into the next patch, of course. So that's going to be events like WardiTV Mondays, Brazilian tournaments like Amantes, Kofa Giants Cup, and some StarCraft the Illusion League as well. We do have a bit of a backlog. We are working through it, and hopefully it doesn't take us too long to catch back up. We should be able to do so within the next like 2-3 weeks, and then ideally we would be caught back up, and then bam, new patch, or at least updated on the PTR. And of course we're still covering those live events whenever we can, when it comes to our tournaments, when it comes to the Bigger Cups, Kung Fu Cups, and potentially even Monday Night Weeklies. We'll see, we shall see. Regardless, we're going to be jumping into the WardiTV Monday, jumping into Los Semifinales. Here we go. Up first, we do have a PvP between Shameless and Classic. Again, Shameless, not a player that we typically see make it this far in an open tournament like this, so already some big accolades. We've already been giving a lot of praise to Shameless as of late when it comes to his achievements, taking down some of these big Korean players, but we'll see how he compares to Classic. Classic, of course, being one of the best pro players in the world, has had a bit of a lull recently. He has had some rougher results in recent weeks and recent months, but still one of the best Protoss players in the world. Let's go. Let us jump into it as we load into 10,000 feet. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the blue Protoss player representing Stowny Bulls. It is Shameless. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the orange Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss representing Protoss Pro. It is a Classic. So let us go as we are jumping into our initial PvP. Oh boy, when it comes to PvP, of course, Classic is a specialist. We were just going over the fact that he did defeat Max Panks this week. herO as well. Classic, he's one of the many tournament champions from this week's tournaments, from this week's Open Cups, and we'll see how he compares to Shameless here. Shameless, of course, has been causing upsets himself when it comes to the PvP matchup. That is true. We've been seeing him take it to players like Classic, like herO in the past couple of weeks. But it's one of those things where Shameless has to be at his best, on his A game, to bring it to these players. He has to be in tip-top shape, tip-top form, to be able to contest against the best of the best players in the world. We'll see what he brings to the table. So far, standard openers. Bearing in mind as well, this is in the base live version of the game. This is not in the PTR. Once again, the Wardy events are not a part of the PTR, and we don't really expect that anytime soon, but hopefully in the near future we can see some more PTR events from Wardy's side of things. We can at least say that, again, the other Open Cups are embracing said PTR. True. As hello. Classic does move out across the map. We have one pylon back at home, and we have a second pylon across the map, I'm assuming here, and this is a prime location for a very real proxy. Oh boy. So Classic is going to double down. Meanwhile, Shameless back at home, going for a 2-gate opener into a pylon in the main base, standard opener out of Shameless. He does scout across the map, and Shameless, he's aware that a pylon is missing. So he knows that something is amiss here. Now, it could be a real proxy, could be a fake proxy, could be a robo, could be a Stargate, could be a gateway. It's going to be up to, again, Shameless to determine what exactly is happening here. And very common it is to send out a second worker to scout. For now, Shameless is checking the center of the map just to make sure there's no fake proxy pylon, and then based on the rally, it looks like he is checking the left-hand side and will eventually find this eventually. As long as he doesn't reroute that rally, which does happen from time to time. Now though, it's prime to scout, and very nice read. Shameless going for his robo opener back at home. Very nice. This is meant to be a hard counter to a proxy, and the probe scout will eventually wait, will it? It should, when it comes back around. I think this initial rotation, yeah, will barely miss the robo, but then as it comes back around, it should spot the robo in the Oh no. God damn it. Shameless, no. Shameless, he does re-rally, so it's going to be a delayed scout here for Shameless. Aye. Back at home, he's still going for a very safe opener though, so he's already blindly countering what is going on, despite not really confirming the build of choice. As there we go, finally he does confirm the Robo. It is going to be the Prism first to harass across the map, followed by Immortal Reinforcements. What it does shade in. Ooh, classic. He does get into the main base so far, getting one probe kill. Can we get two? Oh, barely does. Okay, second probe does go down. Adept is going to be cleaned up, and here comes the main push. Here comes the Prism with Immortal Reinforcements. Back in the main base, we have a Prism on the way. Sorry, we have a battery on the main, it's meant to say. We have a battery, we have a third gateway, we have a force field as well with that sentry. Shamelessly has the tools to defend, and he has his own defensive immortal production as well. So far, so good. After said immortal, we can go second immortal or for a faster war prism, so we can have some micro potential inside the Shameless. We'll lose the pylon. Oh, one of the gateways will be depowered. Does depower a gate? This will slow down the war pins. Likewise, there's that war prism on the way. Now, until that prism comes out, Classic can catch a unit with force fields. And you see he wants to. He wants to bait a unit out. And he doesn't get locked in. The Classic does pull away. It pulls away once again, not losing any units, going for the gateway. And nibbling away at the Stalkers. Taking a bit of hull damage here. And Classic, instead of pushing up the ramp, and again, very respectful, he sees the build of choice, he's aware of the defensive robo. Classic expands. He knows that trying to push up this ramp, it's going to be very difficult here for Classic because of the build that Shameless went for. So instead, expanding and trying to get further ahead, the Probe Scout will confirm the expansion. Shameless is aware. He's aware of the Nexus. Does have a pylon out on the map. And I'm saying shade into the main, not bad. Yeah, gets 1, 2, 3, 4 probes. Oh my god. They're getting up to 5. In the end, that will force Classic's hand. Ooh, taking a lot of hull damage on the Immortal. That was a lot of damage here on Classic's Immortal. Can we hold on a little bit longer? Again, we have a third Immortal on the way. Not enough anti-air to really threaten the War Prism. But still decent trades. Nice showing here by Classic. Does hold him. Oh no! Shameless a little bit of miscontrol, but he does pull away in time. I say miscontrol, he was a little bit out of position, but does save the Immortal. Yeah, he does save it. So far is holding on. Did take down one of the Immortals as well. Not bad. Jesus, it's so low. Oh my god. Yeah, the Immortal's so very low. Shameless, we gotta be careful. Cuidado, papi, cuidado. Let's try to move down. Now, again, these trades have been slightly in favor of Shameless. That is true. Like, he has been taking better fights so far. But remember, there is a Nexus, right? Classic does have a second base. He can back off and macro out of this. So the pressure is still very much on Shameless. Does warp in across the map. Can shade in once again. And Classic backs off. He backs off. He pulls away again. Classic was having worse trades up the ramp. Adept say threaten to shade. Do we have a warp in? Oh, we have no wall up. And no wall up in the main. Does force a recall. Doesn't commit to the shade actually. Oh, I feel like there was a missed opportunity here to potentially get what, 3, 4 kills. There was a missed opportunity. Shameless breaks out. Denies the Immortal. So far, so good. I had Eps, they get caught. They don't trade with anything. Brutal there. Shameless he defends, going for his own expansion at the same time, trying to keep up with the Prism of Classic. Does deflect. And this is going to be quite risky here. He's going for his own harass. Classic is in position. He has limited anti-air, but there we go. We have a Stalker warp in, 3 Stalkers, 2 sentries. Plenty of anti-air. No! Plenty of anti-air. The Prism. Yeah, Prism goes down. The Immortals as well. Ay, ay, ay. Does trade somewhat, but heavy losses here for Shane. Once he gets locked in with a force field, he cannot get away. Does try to recall, and he will save 1 Immortal. But that was a rough loss here for Shameless. Ay, ay, ay. Losing a Prism adds an Immortal. Not like this. Nice try to have a Classic. Goes in, gets 4 probes, doesn't lose anything. Pulls away in time. Pulls away. Pulls away, just keeping Shameless distracted. When it comes to the economies here, Classic does have the side lead, does find the pylon, so no more harassment. No more harassment for Shameless. And Classic is taking control of the game. Again, this was, I'll be honest, this was a better start for Shameless. Shameless, he was ahead early on. He was dealing more damage across the map. He was up in workers. He was out trading the Immortals as well. Like, Shameless had the better start, but has lost a lot of momentum here. Did miss an opportunity to get more worker damage in the main base. Did lose his Prism, of course, and now Adepts are shading into the main. Ooh, doesn't quite commit. But Classic, he is committing. Getting a third base, that is true, but working towards Glaives. It's going to be very committed attack here with Mass Glaive Adepts and Immortals. This does not scale well into a longer game. Classic intends to end it. Tends to end it. And we'll soon be moving out. Throwing down extra gateways. Back into Immortal production. And Shameless, what is the plan? Did get Blink himself. And that will help. It'll come down to how we engage. Shameless is pushing. No War Prism for Shameless. It's still just now popping out. Get spotted. Scatter out of Classic. Setting up back at home. We have 4 Immortals here for Shameless. That's a lot of Immortals, that is true, but Adepts, they built a tank. They're built to tank Immortal shots. And we're getting extra gateways online. Classic has a greater economy. Has more production. And can Shameless break through? Can he break through? So far, does try to lock in one of the Immortals. At the same time, all these sentries are not going to be a factor here. They're going to be zoned back. Nice forces on Classic. And Classic has a better concave, does push him away. And at the same time, no, it's 2 Adepts. 2 Adepts, they bust into the mineral line. 10 probes going down. Ay, ay, ay. And brutal damage across the map as we're still not done. The Classic shades into the main, getting more damage. At the same time, Shameless, he does not gain any ground here. Yeah, Shameless just falling apart. He has nothing left. Immortals are exposed. They can be focused down. And GG. GG gets called. Classic will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, oh, Jesus. Again, Shameless, he had a really strong start. I was very impressed by the initial openers, by the initial quote-unquote hard counter as well, defending the main base, breaking out, claiming his own natural, of course, as well, counter-attacking, getting into the mineral lines. Like, we had a lot of really nice moments there for Shameless, and he did take a lead, and then he did lose that lead. Again, as we mentioned, there were some missed opportunities to harass in the main base once again and get more economic damage. Likewise, I saw him take the risk of going for his own Immortal drop, and he lost the Prism, he lost the Immortal as well, he lost map control as a result, and it all slowly fell apart from there. GG. GG, well played. Classic will take a lead in the series, and now we're getting to game number 2. Let's go. We're jumping to game 2, going to be on Celestial Enclave. Here we go. No. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of Celestial Enclave, we have the orange Protoss player. We have the South Green Protoss. Representing Protoss Pro, it is a Classic. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself representing Stony Balls. It is Shameless. here we go. And once again, Sheamus, he was looking very impressive in the first half of the first game, but then it did slowly fall apart, did slowly slip out of his fingers, did end up losing that lead. We'll see how we open up this time here. As game 1, Classic went for the proxy robo. Here in game 2, welcome to Celestial Enclave, a map that is very rarely seen in PvP due to the fact that we have a ramp coming into the natural. So going for a greedy opener like a Nexus First or Gate Expand is much more common on Celestial. Much more common. Sheamus, he moves out across the map, as so does Classic. Both probes do move out. And Sheamus, he should be able to pylon block. With this block, we should be forcing out a Cybercore, forcing out a Stargate, all before the expand. Sheamus likewise also going for a 1-gate opener, but on the high ground. Okay, mirrored builds. Both mirrored builds, both players want to expand, but both players forced to get the Cybercore. So Cybercore out of Sheamus, Cybercore out of Classic. There's a very high chance that both players go Stargate, and if that's the case, we're going to be seeing Phoenix Wars. It's been a while. We haven't seen too much of that, as we, again, rarely see Celestial Enclave. I want to say it's the only map in the current map pool that actually allows for this sort of play. Just trying to go through all the maps. But the only map with a high ground natural. There are more in the TLMC, of course, as we do get the Nexus. Okay. Yeah, Nexus before Stargate. A greedier follow-up here by Classic. Meanwhile, Sheamus, he wants to expand as well, and he will. No blocks. So no major delays. Oh, no, that is still Stargate before Nexus. So Sheamus, he's going to be behind economically in favor of the Stargate. Meanwhile, Classic is getting a slightly later Stargate himself. Now, checking the vision here, Classic did confirm the attempted Stargate. Yep, he reconfirmed Stargate is on the way. Sheamus also confirms as well. So this is why this is typically how Phoenix Wars are born, or how they start, how they begin, due to the fact that both players scout each other, both players see each other's Stargates, and because of that, you should not make an Oracle. If you make an Oracle, there's a very high chance that it goes down to the first Phoenix. So this is where we start and we don't stop Phoenix production. Now I say that Classic is very known, he's very fond and very known for going for a blink transition out of Phoenixes. So we should be seeing starting Phoenixes initially, then into blink, but this is going to be Oracle first. Ooh, a very bold move here by Classic. This is, I mean, almost this is overconfident, 100%. Overconfident. Oracle first into the Twilight Council as well, into Blink Stalkers. As I mentioned, Classic does like to switch into blink. For better, for worse. Sheamus building up his Phoenixes. Now, Sheamus should have the advantage, assuming that Sheamus is able to cache the Oracle, right? If the Oracle is able to sit by it, and it shouldn't, but if it does, then Sheamus will fall behind. First things first, there is a pylon inside of the main, so he can warp in. Oh, misread, second Stargate, Mass Phoenix here by Sheamus. Again, he's doing what you should be doing, but Classic, he's deviating away into blink. Oracle picks in, gets up to 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 probes go down, recall just in time, the Oracle is saved. So far, nice start with the Oracle. Throwing down extra gateways, getting to 3-gate blinks so far. Pylon is still unscouted. Yo, that is brutal. Yeah, no scout in the pylons. We have a second pylon as well. Cancels the second Stargate, going for the robo. So Sheamus, he is now recognized. Hold up, you're not going Phoenixes. Something's wrong here. So does cancel, does go for the robo. And why do we need the robo? The robo for immortal production. Remember, his opponent's going to have Mass Blink Stalker, and there's no way for Sheamus to catch up in Stalker tech, so he needs immortals instead. The problem here is that this is a late robo, as it's a late realization out of Sheamus. Let's go. So chat, do units on the high ground just get bonus damage? Units on the high ground have the vision advantage. You do need high ground vision to actually see what's on the high ground. So the advantage of said high ground is that you typically shoot first, right? You shoot first or shoot multiple times before your opponent can actually get up the ramp and get vision of you. There's no bonus damage associated. In Brood War and Starcraft Evolution, there is a mischance. I think it's like is it like 47% or something? It's just under 50%. But in Brood War and in StarCraft Evolution, there's a missed chance if you're shooting up a ramp and up into high ground, or if you're shooting into, is there an example of it here? If you're shooting into like tall grass, here, like this kind of tall grass or shrubbery, then there's also a missed chance as well. But that's not in base SE2. As classic for Ninja Base, okay. Ninja Base for classic, building up Mass Stalker. Classic even going to DTs, let's go. Go for the Dark Templar. And my concern here is that these Phoenixes haven't really achieved anything here. Like, these Phoenixes, typically they give you map control, they allow you to harass, they allow you to delay the third base, they allow you to be active as well. They're only just now moving out, and as the Phoenixes move out, Stalkers are moving in. Classic, he does commit. Revelation here on the Zealot. Phoenixes, they do turn back around, and Adepts, they shade in. Oh, sorry, DTs, I should say. Due to the pilot. The pilot is still there, by the way. DTs, they well into the bases. A probe's going to be going down. Nice snipe of the sentry. Very nice snipe. As DTs are just going to town. We still have Adepts behind this as well. Yeah, that one pylon. That's Revelation on one of the Dark Templar. There's still one more in the main there. There's still zero mining. There's a recall back home. Saves the Dark Templar. And Seamus still doesn't know. He still doesn't know, man. The call is coming from inside the house. As Classic is pushing. It's now pushing out, it's now pushing forward. And once again, the Phoenixes, they just have no pay for themselves. Like, they were big investments and they just were not worth it. They were not worth it. Adepts, they shade into the main. They one-shot probes. That's 6 more probes going down. Seamus was thinking, like, how do they keep getting in? What's going on? What's happening, man? I mean, it's too late. It's too little too late at this point. The damage has been done. Finally, the Phoenixes, they check. They find the pylon. It's been here since the start of the game. Finally, it does find it, and here comes the main army. We got a couple of Archons that will help against the Phoenixes when it comes to anti-air. There are 2 Immortals to defend. And here we just commit. Yeah, we just commit in. Now showing with the Prism. Charge is now done. The Prism is low. And Classic just snowballs out of control, catching out the Immortals. Oh my god, Prism goes down. The Phoenixes, they do what they can. But there's only so much they can do, papi. Only so much. As the final Immortal falls. Now there's no more Ground Army. And with that, the Natural's broken. Classic, he snowballs out of control, busts into the Natural base. GG gets called, and Classic will take game number 2 and the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Classic, he will claim the series. Again, Seamus, he had a really good showing in game 1. Like, I can see this going to the ace match. We could have gone to the ace match. Seamus, he was ahead in the first game and then ended up slowly losing that lead. Here in game 2, it was a bit of a mind game where everything was kind of like screaming Phoenix Wars, and Seamus was kind of blindly assuming that, going for a second Stargate, building up mass Phoenixes. But we did mention, even before it occurred, that Classic, he's known for avoiding Phoenix Wars, opening up Phoenix, and then switching into Stalkers. Like, he's known for that. He did go for that here. Didn't even make the starting Phoenix, by the way. And then eventually it clicked here for Seamus that something weird was going on. He canceled the Stargate, started up the Robo as well. But the issue here is that we needed something to be done with those Phoenixes. It was a big investment, and there was no counter damage. We needed Seamus to be somewhat active with those Phoenixes, to hunt down workers, to scout across the map, and to hopefully find the pylon that was inside of the Natural, which was the game-winning move, of course. Like, non-stop DTs and Adepts just warping directly into the main base of Seamus. It was brutal. GG. GG, well played. Cheeky moves out of Classic, as Classic will claim the series, and that leads us into our next semis. Let's go. Gonna be jumping into a best of 3 between herO and Clem. Este herO, Este Clem. Vamos. Game 1 is gonna be on the Old Republic. Bearing in mind that the winner of the series will face off against Classic in the finals. True. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss. Representing T1, it is herO. What do you have for us? What do you have as... Yeah, I saw the rally. I saw the rally of the minimap, and herO goes directly to the center of the map, going for the proxy pylon. We got some shenanigans. Let's go, baby, let's go. Setting up here with the proxy gateway is a very aggressive build, hoping to catch an economic opener at a Clem. Now, winding it back here, welcome to the Old Republic. Old Republic is a relatively large map in the map pool, but it does have a very open third and fourth base, right? It has aggressions typically favored in the mid game, but in the early game, like, we typically expect greed out of our players because of the size of the map. So there's a very high chance that Clem is going to go for a single gas opener into a Rax expand. A very, very high chance. And the hope for herO is that that is the case, so we can try to punish Clem. If Clem blindly plays safe, maybe assuming that herO would be a little bit cheeky, then Clem would have the advantage. He'd be able to have faster attack and a stronger defense, and he'd be able to shut this down. But as we can see here, only one gas is taken. It looks like we are going for the command center. Here we go. So like a calculated risk here from herO, as he assumed that we'd be seeing something more economic out of Clem, whereas Zelda's being chronoed. Now, Clem does not SCV scout just now. Okay, just now going to be scouting with the SCV. There's that CC on the low ground, as we did mention. This worker is scouting directly across the map. Will not spot the gateway. Will eventually confirm that something is wrong at least, but it's going to be a later delayed scout out of Clem. But at least there is a scout. It's very common in TVP to just not worker scout and just wait for the Reaper instead, or sometimes even just wait for the Hellion to scout. SCV does spot the Nexus. Ooh, does not get eyes on the gateway though. So still playing blind. Zelda moves out, so the Reaper will barely miss Zelda as well. Was checking for a proxy location on the right hand side at the third. And here comes the second Zelda. We got two Zeldas already and a Stalker that's halfway done. Is being chronoed as we speak. Reaper thankfully stays home. Okay. Reaper does stay home. That first Zelda is taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. Can we deny the bunker? Can we deny? Zelda's buying time. First SCV goes down. He gets one. He gets one SCV. The other SCV is quite low. Stalker should be rallying in, but the bunker may be able to finish in time as we have more boys. Yeah, the boys have been pulled, and the bunker should finish. Yeah, the bunker should finish here in one more second, and with the bunker completing, Clem holds. Clem will lose 4 SCVs, well, sorry, 3. We'll lose a decent jungle workers, and even here losing a Marine in the main base as well. Oh my god. So nice harassment here by herO, making the best out of a bad situation. Does kill a Marine, does kill 3 SCVs. Behind this, ooh, he busts into the middle line, 5 workers going down, and denies mining. This is getting a little bit out of hand. Remember, behind this, hero's not all in. herO expands. Here he has a natural base. Behind this, going for the Twilight Council as well, keeping Clem busy. Can we catch out another Marine? We can. Yeah, another Marine goes down, and maybe another here as well. Yeah, for sure. Jesus. He takes out all the Marines. Every Marine falls. The Reaper's on its own. Does dive into the bunker just barely. The Hellion is very low, and these are some rough losses here for Clem. And herO, he is not done. He's still reinforcing. He's still just reinforcing early on, still keeping the pressure up. And keeping Clem contained. You can see Clem, he wants to be active with the Hellions at least. Ooh, and he will catch a Stalker. Yeah, barely one Stalker is going to go down. Hellions, they break free. They break free. Pappy, do we force a recall? There's one Stalker back at home. There's nothing here. Forces a lift up. Ooh, so sure, Clem, he breaks out and he counterattacks, but now he cannot mine from his natural. Ay, was this worth it? He can two-shot. There's one. No. Only one shot. Only one volley. The aggression is denied. 0 damage from the Hellions. Boys are being pulled. And herO takes a lead. Here he does take a very nice lead here. How many SCVs have gone down? 7. 7 SCV kills these Marines as well. The Hellion just rallies into the Stalkers. Clem will lose every fighting unit. There's nothing left. Now we got a tank. Now we got a Banshee. But they're forced to reveal themselves. They are revealed. DT follow-up. That's really smart. Oh no. We solved the proxy, by the way. So the issue right now, we should see a mule. Why? Because Clem lost so much. Clem, he lost what? 7 SCV, so he has to mule. And because he muled, bam, DT walks in. DT walks in. Now, thankfully, there's a Raven that's halfway done. The Raven will help, but there is no scan available. We just had some fresh mules in the main base as well. And do we go for the SCVs? Do we go for the tank? The tank will be a very nice pick up. Oh, we're on a move. herO. Yeah, GG. GG gets called. 0 detection, no scan. And herO, he does take game number 1. GG. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. This was a really good example of just a herO game, right? Where herO, he kind of mind games you a little bit. He assumed that Clem would be greedy, so he does punish that greed. Hyper aggression as well, just picking off SCVs one at a time. Didn't deny the bunker. True, when the bunker finished, I thought that was it, right? I thought that Clem would hold and the game would continue, but no, herO, his Zealot got into the main base, distracted Clem. The Stalkers walked behind the mineral line, was able to get more SCV kills, and on top of that, we saw that Clem, he got punished for breaking out. I'm referring to the moments where Clem moved up with the Hellions. The moment that occurred, he had to lift up his natural, right? Because he had nothing to defend. He took a big risk there, and the Hellion harass wasn't worth it. He didn't kill anything. So herO, he attacks, he defends, and with that, herO takes a lead in the series. And now let's get into game number 2. And likewise, of course, the cherry on top was the DT follow-up because he knew that Clem would be muling because of the early economic damage. That was just a 1-2 punch, 0 scan, GG. Really couldn't have done it with Raven. The Raven would eventually defend, but by the time Raven comes out, either the tank is killed in a couple of SCVs or like 4 SCV kills. The problem is that because the Raven was only halfway done, by the time that you defend, you're already behind and you'd lose even more, and then you'd fall further behind. And in Clem's mind, and I think in my mind as well, you'd fall behind enough to the point where, because you're playing against the best Protoss player in the world, like you can't recover from that anymore, right? Like at a certain point, you hit like a threshold of damage where, based on your judgment of who you're up against, like the likelihood of being able to recover from that position is very, very low, right? You could argue that if like maybe if Clem was playing against like maybe like a Zaun or like a Showtime, and of course no disrespect to those players, but like again, there's like a higher chance of maybe recovering depending on who you're up against. But if you're against like herO or Classic or Max Packs, against like the top 3 in the world, like yo, it was it was a rough position. Yeah. But that like influences kind of like, again, that threshold of how much damage you can sustain like at any given point in the game. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. I'm going to be loading into 10,000 feet for game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. So we're jumping to game number 2. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. We'll see if we can make a series out of this. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself, the South Green Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Whew. Let's go. Let us go. Here is up 1-0 in the series, but I should also mention as well, as dominance as game 1 was, it all came down to the openers, to be honest. As we mentioned, it came down to, I mean, the execution as well, of course, but with that, herO was able to gain the lead in the series. Moving forward here, especially on a smaller map, we could see a safer build out of Clem, or he might just believe that herO would not proxy 2 games in a row, and he might still go for the Rax expand. So eyes are on Clem. But what I was going to get at here is that Clem is the best Terran in the world, so we do expect these two to go back and forth. That's typically their dynamic. Regardless of who wins, it's often going to the ace match, going to game 3. That's what we're hoping for, at least. For now, economic opener. So same build here by Clem, going Rax expand. You could argue it's a bold move, but once again, here he's not proxying 2 games in a row, so Clem will be able to comfortably get into the early and mid game. In game 1, Clem wasn't really able to play out his game at all. Here in game 2, Clem should be looking a lot more comfortable, as he will go for the SCV Scout and expand. Behind this, herO going for a standard opener, just a gate expand into Cybercore, so standard stuff here out of herO. We can settle into our games, and welcome to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is a smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground. I will say that this map does have more defendable bases. We have a very kind of tight-knit natural third and fourth base. The distance between these bases is very short, so rotating is much easier as a defending player. We also have the high ground here outside of the third, outside of the natural. That's the Clem. As we go for a bunker on the high ground here behind the natural, cheeky moves out of Clem. Now, herO, I'm sure with his pylon, he noticed the SCV coming in. He should recognize that the SCV is missing. Yeah, he's looking and he finds it. He does find the SCV. As I mentioned, this pylon did scout the worker, and he noticed that the worker was nowhere to be found, and now he does find it, and he should deny the bunker. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Reaper does make it in time. Stalker moves in, and the bunker will finish. Yeah, the bunker will barely finish here. Again, it was a late scout out of herO. Did realize it a little bit too late. And mining will be denied. Shouldn't kill any probes, but should deny mining at the natural base. As you can see, herO is oversaturated in the main. He is oversaturated, as he cannot mine from the natural. Behind this, ooh, Stargate opener. Cheeky moves out of herO. And we'll see if Clem dives. Clem has no idea, and remember, Stargate openers are very uncommon. Typically, Twilight Council plays standard, Stargate is not, so Clem, he needs to scout this. He needs to scout, needs to confirm. And now the Reaper's being pinned down. Is doing a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. It's denying a lot of mining. Even doing whole damage to the Stalker. Oh my god. Here's sustaining a little hull damage here. Nice target firing. Bunker finally goes down. Ooh, does finally catch the Reaper as well. And there was no scout. There was no scout. Back across the map, what do we have to defend? The natural base is being saturated. We have plenty of Marines here in the center. The Oracle does move out, and the Oracle will run past the Marines. And there's no Cyclone, but there is a Widow Mine. You see, there is a Widow Mine here in the main. Mining is denied. Getting one, getting two SCVs. Mine shot will go off. Very nice. So nice defense. Oracle goes down. That was not worth it for herO. And now Clem knows. Now Clem is aware of the Stargate. That is a very rough start for herO. Denied mining and losing the Oracle as well. 3 SCVs is not worth it. That is not worth it. So better start for Clem. He has a better start. Oh. The pressure's on herO. Oh, well. Okay. I was gonna say the pressure's on here to do something crazy, and he is doing something crazy, going for the early fleet beacon. Let's go, vibe, let's go. I'm imagining a carrier rush here out of herO. We have seen this from players like Rebellion, of course. Oh, actually going up. We've seen this played around with a little bit by Classic, but often Classic, I mean, he's very fond, especially last year, he was very fond of rushing into fleet beacons and rushing into Skytoss and TVP whenever he could. We'll see if herO can get away with it. No, wait, sorry. This might just be for the mothership. True. What do you have for us? Is this purely for the mothership, or are we actually going into any... Are we making use of our Stargate? Yeah, there it is. Just a mothership. Okay. So just a mothership rush. This is going to be for timing. Phoenix goes down. Massive pickup. herO miscontrol. Yeah, it does miscontrol here. So basically, we're going for one kind of big... We can do one of two things here. We can have a big recall timing, where we can just recall into the main base and just go for the production. Or we can, of course, make use of Cloak and try to avoid some shots and try to break through the siege line and get on top of the tank. So we'll see how herO makes use of the mothership, whether we recall or Cloak. And behind this, going for a singular Tempest as well. Sure, why not? I mean... Popping out a couple of Tempests. Again, this is very risky. herO doesn't really have much on the ground to defend, even claiming a third base behind this as well. But Clem is stuck at home, right? For now, at least. At least until Stim finishes. When Stim is done, combat chills, and Clem can break out. Whether or not herO can stop this breakout, I don't know if he can. Because of the decision to go into Tempest and Skytoss in such a way, it means there's no splash damage, right? There's no Storm, there's no Colossus. Or, on the flip side, there's no Gateway Explosion, and there's no, like, mass amount of charge lots, right? There are multiple ways to deal with this kind of move out, with splash damage or with a mass amount of gateways, but herO has none of that. herO is very vulnerable at the moment. And here comes a move out. Clem moves out. herO wants Clem to turn around. Clem, he ignores this. Just keeps moving out, just keeps pushing. He scouts, he sees. Yeah, now he knows. Now he knows what's going on. Dusts him in. Catching out the Stalker. Yeah, Stalker goes down. Where's the Cloak? Ooh, losing a sentry as well. Cloak after the first units go down. And Clem, he should have done it here. He should have done it. I mean, he has done it, I mean. He's caught out the Stalkers. And from here, he can just rally across the map. There's just not much here on the ground or in the sky. Clem, we can just rally. We can rally, baby. Nice positioning with the Tempest, though. And this is free damage. But you can see that Clem wants to lure the army out into the open. And then bam, stim. Wants to lure him out. Maestro connects. Very nice. Maestro does connect. Clem still sharking around. There are 2 more Widow Mines. Now, what's scary to me here is that with Clem backing off and not trying to break the third base in this position, here is building up a terrifying amount of Tempest, and we have a Templar Archives on the way. We're working towards Storm. Like, there's still a window here. There's still a very comfortable window for Clem to try to kill herO pre-Storm, but that window is slowly closing, which is my concern. It's still a ways away. Still a ways away. Until then, Clem is still fine. Here we go, going for the Doom Drop. This army is very immobile for herO. Very immobile. As here he does turn back around to his third, and Clem does not drop into the main. What's the plan? Clem, he reveals his army, which means herO can come in. Uh-oh. Clem, he has to get out of here. Yeah, he needs to leave. We just gotta leave. Get out of here, Pat. Does pick up, does pull away. Tumble Archives is now done. No Storm yet. Instead, just Archons. I mean, Charged Archon isn't bad. It's a supportive army. True. It is supportive. herO, does he catch at the medevacs? Oh, he sees! He gets one! Yeah, one medevac goes down. Gets up with the tank as well. Ooh, not quite. Tank does pull away in time. Gee, that's a lot of Vikings. 12 Vikings already. Cloak is activated. Tank does get one shot off. And that's a lot of bio on the ground. There's a lot of bio. Not much anti-air. Mothership goes down. And Clem can just keep pushing. Can just keep pushing here. Takes down the Mothership. Takes down most of the Zealots. Clem does pick up half his army though. Uh-oh. He's only got half. herO, he can take a fight. He's going to keep pushing. Back at home. Do we have a defensive warp in? That does have the recall. It does recall back home. That's 11 probe kills. That's a lot of damage. Nothing shoots up here, actually. Oh. Mainly Marauder. And my concern here, I mean, this was some nice damage. 12 probes did go down. But how many Tempests do we have? 7. That's a scary amount of Tempest, and this space is so vulnerable to siege units, whether it's tanks, Tempests, Liberators, Broodlords, anything can punish the space so hard. Ay, ay, ay. That's 7 Tempests, baby. The Vikings, they catch one. One Tempest goes down. Not bad. But it's also overwhelmed, and hero's doing it. No shot. GG. GG, well played. Here he does. He breaks on through the front line, and herO, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. herO, he will claim the series. Again, Clem, there was a window of opportunity for him to break through, and I was very surprised that he turned back around. I understand that he was respecting the cloak, of course. I'm referring to the moment when Clem pushed through the center and pushed up the ramp, and when the first cloak was activated. After he killed, what was it, a Stalker and a Sentry, or 2 Stalkers in a Sentry. Like, he had a really good trade initially, then cloak activated, he backed off, and then he raced back home. I feel like there was an opportunity there to try to press the issue, because as we saw, the longer the game goes on, the more Tempest you amass up. And we got up to 7 Tempest towards the end. We got up to critical mass, and of course the ground supportive army, not into Storm, but into Charger Archon instead, which did do its job. GG. GG, well played with that. Congratulations. herO, he will advance on to the grand finals. Clem is out, and we have a best of 5 finals here between herO and Classic. Oh boy. Momentum. We are going to be going on a short break. Going to be going on a short break here. Going to be going on a short 5-minute break. And when we come back, we'll have our best of 5. We'll have that final series between herO and Classic. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon, Pappy. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to those grand finales here, the grand finals of the WardiTV Monday number 81. A bit of a shorter broadcast, really fast games. Not gonna lie, typically we expect to delve a little bit further into these matches, but the first series was a PvP, ended very quickly. Second series was Clem versus herO, and also we didn't really get too far into those games either. A very fast game one, and a bit of a longer game two, but also did very quickly snowball out of control with a cheeky build out of herO. As we get into our final series. Best of 5 this time, though. Best of 5 here between herO and Classic. These two face off very often in online and offline tournaments as well, just because they are, you know, the two best Brothers players in Korea and in the world as well. They're up there, and they often face off against each other, and they often go back and forth. Depending on, I mean, it's always hard to call. I would give the edge to herO, but Classic can bring down someone like herO as well. They go back and forth this week as well. Same with max packs, like all three of them, they kind of like rotate between themselves over and over again, and we'll see who comes out on top this week. Who comes out on top? Let's go. Let us go, as we're going to be loading into the Old Republic. Vamonos, baby, vamonos. So we're jumping into said best of 5. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the other South Korean Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is a Classic. Let's go. Let us go. So we're jumping into our final series here. We have our best of 5, and these two are very, very close in skill when it comes to PvPs. Classic is very fond of proxies, very fond of cheese. Meanwhile, herO can be very diverse, mixing in greedy builds and more aggressive ones as well. So far, so good. We do have our initial gateways back at home on the high ground as well. There's no crazy low ground setup here, at least not on the Old Republic. That's the kind of thing that we expect on Celestial Enclave. And we'll see if we can get there in this series. Otherwise we are still just going to be opening up. And we'll see if we go for our initial 2-gate openers, as there's no problem with that. Yeah, there's no probe out on the map, there's no pylon. So 2-gate opener out of Classic, 2-gate opener out of herO. Everything's looking standard so far. We'll see if any kind of worker deviates off the path and does try to head out for a proxy. But for now, both players are scouting each other, and it's looking like standard openers into our second pylon in the main. Let's go. So standard openers here from both players. So far, it's looking like it's leading into a more standard game. If we were spawning into a smaller map like Tourmaline or 10,000 feet, then there'd still be a chance that we can one base all in by going for a robo in the main base. You can still all in with that robo in the main, but on a larger map like the Old Republic, we're expecting expansions. We're expecting either straight up Nexus or like Stargate expand or Twilight Council expand. Or I guess robo expand, which would be rare in this kind of situation. Gateways are finishing. Do we open up a double Stalker, double Adept, a Stalker Adept, or Stalker Sentry? Double Adept here out of herO, Stalker Sentry out of Classic. Now, when it comes to our openers here, double Adept is to be more aggressive, so herO's going to be the aggressor early on. Meanwhile, Classic is going for a much more safe standard opener with scouting information thanks to the hallucination from the Sentry. So Classic being the defender, herO being the aggressor. We can see herO being as annoying as possible, hoping to delay the expand. Does get the pylon. Yeah, herO throws on the pylon, delays the expansion, and also does force out and does spot the initial units. You can see Classic only revealing the Stalker. Hunting down the probe. The pylon looks like we'll finish. We reveal the Sentry as well. And it is Stargate first. So Stargate first out of Classic, Nexus out of herO. Because of the pylon block, right? The pylon will delay. So Classic forced into tech. herO's moving out with the Adepts. And I believe only 2. Yeah, just double checking here. Only 2 Adepts. Adepts is zoned away. Twilight Council opener out of herO. Working towards Blink as his tech of choice. And herO should not get past. Ooh, I say that. herO, he does that position. Okay. Adepts, they go for the shade. There is thankfully a full wall in the main. Steps that force to retreat. And remember, here he is still yet to scout. Does tank some of the shots. And here he has not seen the Stargate. Now, because this hero, he might blindly leave units in his own main base mineral line just to be safe and secure, as he still has no idea what he's up against. Shades in, once again it's denied. Oh, he does scout though. Yeah, he sees. Wow. He does barely get eyes on the Stargate and on the Fall of Twilight Council as well, so he knows that he has a blink advantage. Does cost him both at Eps, but now he's aware of what's coming his way. Here we go, Senju Stalker at the natural. Double Stalker into the main base. That was worth it. I mean, ideally, herO also gets some probe kills, but at least he's aware of what's coming his way, so he can make sure he doesn't lose any workers himself. So Classic does push. Oh. Classic does move out. herO confirming that there's no second Oracle. First one, oh, bit of miscontrol there as the Oracle attacked the Stalker, not the probe. So Classic rotates over towards the natural. herO does go for some hallucinations. One probe goes down. There is no battery. But Classic, he's scared off. Yeah, he sees the Stalker count, he does pull away. Fake Stalkers, they work. Otherwise, herO was very vulnerable. Classic pulls away, takes a third. So with this, we're building up into the mid-game. Classic the first to expand. Meanwhile, herO the first to get into Blink. Blink will finish, and then herO will gain map control. Or he can. As herO, he can start to move out. Can start to. Ooh, nice catch. Catching out the Oracle as well. The Oracle did some inadvertent damage. If you recall, the Oracle killed one probe and did force units to be stuck at home, but that's really all the damage that was dealt. So not quite worth it for Classic. So behind this, we're settling in towards the mid-game. Both players are. The other advantage that herO has outside of having Blink early on is +1. Faster Forge, faster +1, better upgrades, a better army. That's something that is something that Classic has to be wary of. Does need to be wary. Ooh, Dark Shrine also on the way. We'll see if this goes unscouted, as we do have a constant hallucination scouts at a Classic. Again, it can be very difficult to keep this hidden. Hallucination moves in, gets spotted. Ooh, and here he will respond. Okay. Nice snipe. No scout. A proxy on the left-hand side. Here he will come across it, I believe. Ooh, just barely not. Just also the gateway. This should just be to reinforce and harass with adepts. You're warping adepts, shading towards the mineral lines, and maybe reinforce the pushing army. We have a massive gateway explosion, 6 gates on the way, in addition to the 3 that we already have. So we do have a 9-gate setup. You can see here getting safety cannons. He himself is afraid of Dark Templar. There's no safety cannons here, but we should have an Oracle. Sorry, Observer I meant to say. There we go. Observers with the main army. And where are the Dark Templar? Alright. Not yet done. There we go. And here comes Classic. Classic's going for his main push. Does threaten a push. Dark Shrine is now done. DT's now warping in. But Classic does have that better army. It does have the larger army, I should say. Does not +1, but he's committed. Does break through, catching a 1, 2 soldiers already. Not bad. At the same time, we have hallucination probes coming in. Let's go. And Classic everyone's massive pig off takes down the Prism. Prism goes down. No batteries to defend. Very nice force fields. And Classic just completely annihilates herO here. Again, Classic is all in. He's just all in. Like, there's no economy, there's no tech behind this. There's no gases, no fourth base. Defensive DTs could defend, but there is an observer. Yeah, there's an observer here back at home, or back with the main army. And with that, Classic will start things off with a lead. So he breaks the natural. At the same time, here he does find some damage across the map. But GG gets caught. He cannot deal with the main army, and Classic takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, both players having a relatively passive early to mid game, building up into 3 bases. herO was taking up into a longer game, going for his own forge, upgrades, and taking up in towards DTs. Meanwhile, Classic didn't take his gases, cut workers early, and went for a big 3 base all in. And was able to catch herO at mid-transition. I say mid-transition, just spending resources elsewhere. Wasn't quite ready for a main frontal assault. GG. GG, well played. Again, DTs was quite an expensive choice. Wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it. Didn't really do much at home. Didn't do much across the map. Didn't defend back at home either. Did not help out. GG. And with that, we're getting into game number 2. Loading into game 2. Going to be loading into Mothership. Oh, okay. Going to be loading into a 3-player spawn map. Now as we get into Mothership, it's a larger map, more places to potentially proxy as well. Higher chance that we do hide something on the map. We'll see. We shall see. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Mothership, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom side of Mothership, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Protoss Pro, leading the series 1-0. It is Classic. Oh, bold move as Classic goes for the low ground wall off. If you remember, I mentioned that we expect to see this on Celestial Enclave. Seeing this here on Mothership is a much bolder move, but RNG, right? Like, we're hoping that it's going to be a delayed scout from herO and that we can get away with a greedy build. So the setup for a gate expand is here for Classic. herO, it looks like he's scouting left. Or are we going to the center? Yeah, he's scouting the left-hand side, so it's going to be delayed scout out of herO. Do we go straight Nexus, or do we go Cybercore first? Do we play it safe, or do we be greedy? I mean, it's still a greedy build, but how greedy exactly? As herO does go double gas, high ground setup here, standard open out of herO, going for a second pylon inside of the main. Meanwhile, yep, there it is, a gate expand, a faster Nexus before the Cybercore. Very greedy build here from a Classic. The only thing greedier than this is just straight up Nexus first, before the gateway, which we have seen before. Oh, and herO does not scout, by the way. He does confirm that Classic is not top left, but it looks like he will set up for a proxy pylon outside of the main. But this is looking like a prime location for a proxy Stargate. And Classic, does he scout? No, sure he does. He scouts, he sees, finds the pylon, finds the probe as well, and the proxy is denied. Ay, ay, ay. herO having a very rough start, and what this means as a cancellation, this means that Classic gets away with a very greedy build and with a much stronger start as well. Now he confirms. Yep, herO moves in, confirms the timing, is where the Nexus, going for a Stargate himself, back at home. So a delayed Stargate opener back at home for herO. Defensive Stargate at a Classic. Classic, by the way, has no idea where herO is, as not scouted at all. Does go Stargate nonetheless. This should be for the Oracle, but now it can open up into Phoenixes if need be. Adept does shade top right. Classic does spot the opposing Adept. Here he shoots first. And here he does shoot first. Classic has to respect it. Classic shades past. Confirms the delayed Nexus. Very nice wall look. But Classic does not get into the main. Does not get in. Yep. Oracle's on the way. Oracle does find his way into the mineral line. Not bad. Yeah, despite the faster economy here, 1, 2, 3 probes going to be going down. A nice damage here from here. Very necessary damage as well. Gets one more, but will lose the Oracle. And we have a second Oracle on the way. This is a very risky move here out of herO. Does he get scouted? He does. Yeah, he does get scouted. Classic does spot the second Oracle on the way. Classic is aware. He's in position. And again, this is a big investment from herO. Did kill 7 probes. Can he find more damage? Here he distracts on the right hand side. Comes in on the left. Nothing in the main. Yeah, one Stalker back at home. Oracle dives in. More damage. Not bad. And despite Classic's greedier build, and despite the Phoenix opener as well, here he pops off. He pops off. He gets another 6 probe kills. Oh my god. 6 more probes go down. 13 kills in total. And herO takes a massive worker lead. And Classic's in trouble. He has to counterattack. He does need to counterattack. Back at home, we have 2 more gates on the way working towards Blink. For now, these are vanilla Stalkers. Classic looking for a way in. Does find a probe. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. Barely 3. Nice start for Classic. So far, a nice start. To get another 2 probes, 5 in total. Here he commits. He's not expanding. Here's going 2 base all in. Yeah, 2 base all in. We go 3 gates back and over. 4th gate with across the map. It's going to be a 4-gate blink all in. And Classic, can he defend? He does have Immortals. True. We have defensive Immortals. Second Immortals on the way as well. Is that going to be enough? Only 1 battery, and it's exposed. And we had 2 more batteries behind this, and then we do defend easily. Nice damage it up, so you do shade in. 12, oh my god. 12 probes go down. And here, I mean, he was already all in, but now the all in has been weakened. Here he has limited warp ins. Still trying to push forward. Gets caught. Does trigger the shields. Classic has to respect it. Ooh, we go for the dive. Yeah, 1 Immortal goes down, and we're going for the other. Can we get it? Oh, goes to the Stalkers instead. Yeah, nice juggling. Nice juggling here. The Prism has arrived. The Immortal should not go down. And once again, better juggling here in Classic. He holds. He holds. He shut this down completely. And behind this, Classic has a better economy. He's up in workers, up in economy. Now we finally get 2 more batteries on the way. I wanted to see that earlier. Regardless, is still holding on. Shays into the main. Phoenix is ready. Somewhat. There's still 3 probes. We're getting messy. But I do have to favor the main army, right? The main army of Classic with that heavier immortal count. Now Classic can break out. Going for the proxy. And here is in trouble. Trying to stop this main move out is going to be so difficult with the Prism, with 3 Immortals, with the Phoenixes as well. herO throws down 3 more gateways. He's not going to try to macro out of this. He's not going to try it. He knows, Pappy. He knows. Going up to 6 gates. Oh, going for a ninja base. Okay. Okay. I mean, what? It can work. Why not? Going for the Nexus. Now, if Classic is passive, then herO can recover in this game. The game is still quite tense. Classic does have a big lead, and if Classic pushed herO now and committed, I do think that he would straight up kill herO. Classic playing it safe, getting to Glaives, Forge, +1, gateways, expansion. Technically, Classic is getting further ahead as long as he can deny the 3rd base of herO, which currently he's unaware of. He's unaware. No shotty scouts top left. He's gonna be checking this location. I don't think he goes all the way to the corner though. Yeah, he doesn't. There was a chance. But a classic will not check the corner. Dark Shrine on the way. This I do like. I believe there's no form of detection. Is there a robo? Yeah, no robo. There is a Stargate for an Oracle. That would be the one way to get some form of detection here for herO. Robo has begun. Never mind. Should have an observer. As Classic gets in. Gets in once again. One, getting 2 probes. Shades into the main. Getting to 3. Do we get 4? Not quite. 3 probes go down. Classic working towards full 3-way saturation. herO, he did not scout the Dark Shrine. And here come those ZTs. And this is hitting before the initial observer is ready. Just before. Observers on the way. TTs, they waddle in. They will get damage on the natural. herO, does he notice? Up, up, up. He does. Wow. He does notice. Very keen eyes out of herO. DTs, they do 0 damage. Very nice. He noticed the shimmer back. Despite that, we still get a little bit of damage done. 3 probes. As we're getting up to 6. Oh my god, a herO with a messy defense. And detection was out of position. 7 probe kills. Classic moves out. Classic still has a stronger main army. He's got 5 immortals. That's a crazy immortal count. He blinks in. Oh, good. Yeah, herO with a crazy blink. Blinks into the army. That's going to be 3 Stalkers going down. Boys being pulled. Desperation out of herO. Nice force shields. They're going away some of the adepts. But we juggle back. We juggle back. The immortals will be saved. Force field's going to be running out. And Classic breaks through. Classic here overwhelms. And with that, Classic Luna take a 2-0 lead in the series. Again, the first game was catching herO with his pants down. Here in game 2, so herO trying to be aggressive. He was still punished for that aggression, though. Was not worth it. He was shut down. And with that, Classic breaks through. Breaks through the main army. Catching at the Immortal, the Stalkers, the Adepts, the everything. As the final stand here, as we get the boys being pulled into Clem Adepts of all things. Like, we not like this. Bappy GG gets called, and Classic takes a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Classic does take a lead here. Once again, Classic, he did take a bit of a risk at the start, going for a very greedy build, going for a gate expand. In the end, was able to get away with it, so was able to follow it up with Phoenixes to hunt down the Oracles, of course, to regain map control, harass across the map, build up into a 3rd base. It was herO who was a little bit more dedicated on 2 bases, if you recall, with the gateway across the map, but he failed to break the natural. We saw that once the immortal count got too high, Classic was not being broken, and herO fell further and further behind as he was very dedicated to that push, and also losing a lot of workers behind it, forced into an all-in. The all-in failed. GG. GG, well played. From there, Classic snowballed out of control, and now we're getting into game number 3. Potentially the final game of the series. Again, we typically expect a back and forth between these 2 players, but it's PvP. Like, anything can and will happen. Let's go. So we're getting ready for that 3rd game. Is going to be on Ruby Rock. Not gonna lie, it still feels a little bit weird casting these older maps. I say older maps, they're current live maps, but we have been doing a lot of TLMC broadcasting as of late, so it's something that we're not quite accustomed to. But let's go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Protoss. We have the red Protoss. Oh. The red Protoss player, down heavily in the series, by the way. He's down heavily in this series. Can he bounce back, and can he make a series out of this? Representing T1, it is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the other South Korean Protoss. The blue Protoss leading the series 2-0 for Team Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Classic. Ay, ay, ay. And welcome one and all to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a smaller map of the map pool, shorter rush distance by ground. As a result, we do typically expect aggression here on this map. We can proxy, we can even just go for all-ins from back at home as well. We'll see how we do adjust here. Remember, last game, Classic was hyper greedy, but that was partially because of the map itself. It was Mothership, so there was an RNG factor when it comes to scouting and punishing, and in the end, Classic was able to get away with it. But we'll see how herO does open up this time. As workers are sent out. Oh, hello. herO, he was going for the main scouting pathway. He actually deviates here on the right hand side. And the question becomes, are we going for a proxy? Based on the location here, it looks like a proxy Stargate. Again, often if the position is close by air but far by ground, then you can assume that's going to be Stargate play. The other option technically could be a hidden pylon into Twilight Council into DTs. You can also do that if it's further away in the corner of the map. Otherwise, this could be a fake out. As Classic is looking for the pylon. Pylon is thrown down and probe sticks around. Show us the Stargate. We're assuming Stargate, which would not be an all-in, by the way. Stargate openers are aggressive, that is true, but they do often lead into the early to mid-game. Just waiting for the Cybercore. Cybercore's done. And we do open up a double Stalker into Warp Gate. Okay. So it does go for Warp Gate, and will abandon the pylon. Oh, fake out. Okay, it's going to be a fake out here. The moment that I saw Warp Gate, I was like, hold up, what's going on? And Classic falls for it, going for a defensive robo. Ay, ay, ay. So again, Classic, he is searching for the pylon. He finds it? No shot. He finds the pylon. So Classic, he had already gone for a robo, which is a very safe way to play. So he does fall for the bait, but he at least confirms that it was bait. Now, Classic can turn this into an all-in himself, which is viable on Ruby Rock, by the way. So if he throws down a third gateway, that'll be an all-in. Otherwise, he could just expand. There's a cancellation. There's a probe. And we are expanding. Okay. So Nexus is being thrown down. Checking herO's vision, herO did not get into the main base, so he's not fully aware of the tech of choice. Technically, it could have been a Stargate opener, could have been Twilight Council, or Robo. So Classic reveals the Stalkers, so herO goes to the counterattack. So does Classic. We're gonna get rowdy. We're gonna get rowdy. Who recalls first? Who recalls? An upside foot in the shade. Ooh, the main base is open. He gets in. That should not have happened. There's a recall back home. 1, 2. We're gonna get up to 3 probes. 2 probes gonna be going down, but did force a recall. Massive damage here from Classic. Force field did miss. Oh, did we get a sentry? Not quite. Oh, do we though? He gets it. He trades. A death for a sentry. Yeah, better trade for Classic. Back at home, getting his own natural base up and running. Prism is on the way to harass even further. And so far, this is a better start for the blue Protoss. Classic has had the better start. Immortal production underway. I believe the War Prism is out, which means Classic can keep reinforcing. Hallucination does not see the prism. That was intentional by Classic, hiding the War Prism. Remember, herO, he never scouted, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he never scouted the main. He does not know that it was a robo opener. Oh, now he does. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm sure he noticed the shimmer. Yeah. The shimmer was noticed. Observer goes down. Now he's aware. Stalkers, they rotate into the main base, and just in time as well. Uh-oh. Prism. Yeah, the prism is exposed. Never mind. Here he takes an extra shot to the face. An extra volley. Thankfully, defensive War Prism, and herO holds. Here he does hold on. That was a little bit messy though, a little bit shaky. herO did lose an extra Stalker. So once again, these are just better trades for Classic. Slightly better trades. Players still taking up, Classic moving out across the map. Once again, as herO moves out, Classic is moving in with a much larger army as well. So herO, he won't have 4 Adepts to defend back at home, or the War Prism to juggle units. Back at home, what do we have to defend? We have 3 Stalkers and 2 Sentries. There's 1 battery. We do have some Warpins coming in, but Classic has an overwhelming army. He's just going for the kill. He's going for the kill. Probe's going to be going down. Classic does not care. Nice force fields, buying time. Does buy a little bit of time here. We have another battery on the way. Oof. But herO gets caught. herO gets caught out. We'll lose another Stalker. Boys are being pulled. And he is cornered. He is pinned. Again, there's 2 Immortals behind us here for Classic. He locks him in. Yeah, he locks him in as well. Immortal goes down, and Classic, he has done it. He has done it. He has broken herO. Extra Warpins back across the map. The boys, they surround. Oh my god. Surround the Adepts. The boys are fighting back. But Classic's winning. As Sub steps into the main base, catching out another Immortal. herO recalled back home. We recalled 1 Adept. We got 1 Adept and 1 more Stalker on the way. 2 more Stalkers warping in, but again, GG gets called. GG gets called. Classic has too much to handle, and Classic will claim the series 3-0, taking down herO in the grand finals. GG. Hey. GG, well played. A strong showing here by Classic here for the WardiTV Monday number 81. Strong showing as it takes down herO. Again, we did see a lot of chaos, a lot of diversity between both players. Classic did take a lot of risks, of course. We're talking about the greedier build we saw on Mothership, for example, or even here in game number 3, we saw that Classic, with his scouting, was able to confirm that herO, he was faking the initial aggression. We saw Classic, who was baited into the robo, but he made use of it. He made full use of it, going for the initial War Prism, reinforcing across the map, keeping up the pressure, and eventually overwhelming herO. Once again, herO, one of the reasons why he struggled so much specifically here in game 3 is that herO didn't see anything. He wasn't fully aware as to what was going on. The gateway count, the army movements, the reinforcements, any kind of map vision or map awareness was more lacking from herO. So with that, he was caught with his pants down more often than not. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Classic for claiming the series and for being our champion for the WardiTV Monday number 81. GG, well played. It also leads into a much shorter broadcast, by the way. much shorter broadcast. Really fast games, really fast series. Even with the herO Clem series, which I assumed was going to be a little bit longer, but no, they were also fast games as well, which is kind of what we expect out of current meta, of course. True. Is what we expect as we get into the rest of our schedule here. Now, I do recommend checking out last night's podcast. We were discussing it last night, talking about the PTR and all the changes that were announced, the current state of the PTR, the future potential changes that have been proposed as well, and of course just the last week of StarCraft. So if you missed out, I do recommend last night's podcast. If you don't know, we do have a weekly podcast where we go over all the news of the week. We also went over the StarCraft AMA for the StarCraft Miniatures game, which also came out, as they are releasing and shipping out miniatures, by the way, as we speak. So if you're out there, you might already have your miniatures already. We'll be receiving them over the next month or so. So they are being sent out. Likewise, we also discussed some of the responses to the PTR as well, and Home Story Cup announcements, nice also the game announcements as well. All was covered in last night's podcast. Meanwhile, as you can see with our schedule, we just wrapped up with our Thursday evening cast. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be live with some more WardiTV Monday. Now, you might be looking at this and be like, hold up, it's not Monday. True. So over the past 2 months, I want to say, we have been falling further and further behind when it comes to WardiTV coverage, just because of GSL, RSL, GSL CK, a bunch of qualifiers. There's just been so much StarCraft going on, and we had to sacrifice a couple of things here and there. They had to be put on the back burner. WardiTV Mondays was the big one. One of the reasons why I didn't really have as much fixation or as much priority or as much urgency to cover the WardiTV Mondays is because of 2 things. One, they did not feature TLMC maps. All the other tournaments did. Monday Night Weeklies, Sparkling Tunic Cups, KSLs, all the other open tournaments did feature TLMC maps. except for Kung Fu Cup, to be fair, and except for WardiTV Monday as well. Likewise with the PTR, other open tournaments are featuring the PTR, WardiTV Mondays are not, so that's why they did kind of fall in the back burner, and we fell a little bit further behind. That did pile up behind us. But now with the PTR being announced and with the patch on the horizon, we want to try to play catch up. We want to try to play catch up and work through the backlog of tournaments that we have, and that's going to be a lot of the WardiTV Mondays. That's good. So we just wrapped up with 81. Tomorrow morning we're going to be live with 83, and then Saturday morning we'll be live with number 84. So we're catching up with all the WardiTV Mondays. We will get there. We have Kung Fu Cup Friday night. We have StarCraft Evolution League on Saturday, and we have the GSL semis and finals on Sunday as well. Again, that is going to be a live cast of GSL. So a lot of content on the horizon, and again, we're catching up. I do apologize if you were looking for the Amanthus stream, but we did reschedule Amanthus to StarCraft. I did need this morning off just because there were other things that did kind of arise IRL, so I wasn't available this morning. But we will eventually catch up with all the Brazilian tournaments as well. Those are the other events that kind of fell by the wayside. That is Code for Giants Cup, Amanthus, and StarCraft Evolution League as well. So we're playing catch up with all that, and we should be caught up over the next 2 weeks. And that's going to be lined up with Masters of the Game, which is the other thing that we have to catch up on into Home Story Cup as well. So it's going to be a lot of content, a lot of StarCraft throughout the course of June coming into July. I want to say that post Home Story Cup, that's when maybe things start to slow down a little bit, but we always say that and then things ramp up. So it's just been a really intense year of StarCraft so far. The first 6 months, they've been brutal. But coming into August though, August, lean month, baby. Oh no, not like this. The only SC2 day is Monday. True. That's why I didn't say the pants are down. The pants were down. I'm glad you thought it. Classic hero versus classic. True. Do see them a lot. All down on the stream, guys. Thank you. We do our best. But with that, we're going to be ending our stream a little bit earlier today, which is all good, so we can catch up on some other things. I have to catch up on VODs for sure, 100%. All right, that's the other thing that's happening is the Thermal 2v2 circuit. True, that we have the Thermal 2v2 circuit as well. With our Casa, we helped run and organize it behind the scenes, and of course, we have Maestros also ongoing as well. But for now, we're going to be wrapping up for the time being, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more WardiTV action over the course of Friday and Saturday. Again, we're catching up with the WardiTV broadcast, Kung Fu Cup tomorrow as well. And if you want to support us, you can do so by following us on all the socials. We have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. We'll see you guys on your preferred platform of choice, and you can also support us via Patreon as well. Otherwise, stick around. Who's live at the moment? Who is live? Who can we raid? Who can we send everyone over to? Let's have a look. Let us have a look. There aren't many people live at the moment. I see Mosti. But yeah, not many people live at the moment. I know it's quite early over in Europa, so I know that the European scene is still waking up and getting out of bed. True. But otherwise, we're going to be heading up for the time being, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao. Hasta luego, papi. See you next time.